So today being a Sunday, I'm going to tell you a very profound narrative, not even a narrative, a very pivotal inaugural on how Christianity, on how modern Christianity was born, or how it came to be what it is right now. People doesn't understand where Christianity all began, and it's funny. It's just something that began 2,000 years ago, and everything, human beings have been here for more than 15,000 years. It's crazy, but that's not the topic of today. Today we're going to just discuss how modern Christianity was born, or rather, how did Christian came to be what they had, or rather what we have come to understand Christianity of what it is right now. And I'm going to start with a very simple thing, and from a very simple point. Among the 12 disciples, there's one very pivotal disciple, and we are all accustomed to that one guy. The guy was called Simon, and after he was baptized, we all know him as Peter. Now, Peter was a very interesting guy, and there's a point in the Bible where we see he actually is a guy who denied Jesus Christ like 3 times, and then the cock, crowed or something. We all know Peter, and he did other crazy things. He was always there for Jesus Christ. He was the most favorite, most loved, if I'm not wrong. And nobody whom is aware of the Bible doesn't know of Peter, Simon Peter. Now, after the death of Jesus Christ, Peter had a mission to fulfill. He had to become the first apostle of Jesus to spread Christianity, and that by nature was his most prominent duty that Jesus Christ had left him when he died. And he did his thing. Now, around 30 to 45 AD, we are told that he traveled to Rome to continue furthering and triumphing in the spread of Christianity. And that's where he met. And at that time, Christians weren't condoned as what we are aware of Christianity up to date. Things have changed. Things are not always the way we think they are. There's a lot people need to learn so that they come to understand the reality they know of. It's the completely antithesis of what is the mere truth. And that will take you a lot of reminiscing, will take you a lot of isolation, so that you can start to think on how things actually are. So at that time, as I'm saying, so that time Christians were being persecuted, were being crucified, their skin actually, they were undergoing a lot of detrimental, a lot of dreadful act, so that they could be a lesson to others not to indulge in any form of Christianity. And that's how sad it was at that time. I don't know, maybe it was, but that was the work of the empire. So when Peter traveled to Rome to continue furthering his Christianity, at that time there was an emperor named Nero. He was a guy ruling Rome at that time. And by good luck, by bad chance, he ended up persecuting Peter for his act. And the way he was persecuted, he had to be persecuted. Peter actually requested to be crucified upside down, because he couldn't put himself in the same manner that Jesus Christ had been crucified. So yeah, he was actually crucified ups and down. And funny enough, the place that he ended up being buried was in Vatican City. That's a point to note, because that's where the birth of Catholicism starts. A couple of 100 years ago, in the late 300 and almost 330s to 360s to 390s AD, at that time, Rome was being ruled by a certain empire, a very profound empire in Christianity world named Constantine's. Now, Constantine eventually, by a dream where he dreamt of a cross with a sign of a symbol, and a voice spoke in him that said, "This is the sign that you will conquer." In Latino, it says that in signo vincere. Now, after he had that dream where the sign said that he will actually conquer, he had to convert himself into Christianity, and that's how Christianity permeated into the world. The fact that the empire himself believed in Christianity. The first thing in the 14th century, remember, Peter was the first pope, and at that time it wasn't Christianity, it wasn't Catholicism, it was the church. And the leader of the church was the pope, and the first pope was Peter. Now, when Peter was died, Emperor Constantine decided to do something that will be a very profound into the realm of Christianity. He built St. Peter the Basilica, where it's located in Vatican City, and there's a narrative that spread that that's where Peter was actually killed, and that's where he was buried. Now you see, it's the Catholicism, it's the church that gave rise to Catholicism, and the Catholicism gave rise to the modern Christianity. Now, after the modern Christianity is where we have the dichotomies of Angelism, Protestants, difference, Christian doctrine with a different approach, though sharing that collective illusion. And that it's funny, people don't understand that Christianity came from Catholicism. The modern Christianity was born from Catholicism, since even the first pope is Peter. So funny. And it's funny because at Vatican City there's some, I won't say conspiracies, but a lot of dreadful, a lot of dismal dispositions and proclivities that are involved with the church. It's a lot to take in, but at least from that point there's a reference and there's a point